ever thought to yourself, man, I wish I could just take some whippersnipper trash I bought from Amazon, mount a honking great big saw blade on it, and go attack the bushes? Me too. This is the Amazon Prime 22-inch cutting path Fields Edge M205, whatever. And it's a push behind string trimmer with one of those, you loop the string trimmers through. But as you'll notice, it promptly broke, and it's kind of been a pain in the butt. But mostly, these strings, if you want to cut down small stuff, they actually work great. But if you're trying to cut down something that's like, I don't know, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, yeah, they just beat themselves to death. However, it's not a very complex machine, and I think with a little ingenuity, we can put a big old saw blade down there and go void some warranties. Huh? Yeah. OSHA approved, 100%. Now, I do definitely hate it when they start these videos off and the hard part is already done. Yeah, it's not that hard. So, and no matter what brands you have, because I'm sure there are thousands of clones of these things, they're probably all about the same. So this is the actual string head, and it sits on a keyway shaft. This has 2 Allen key set screws that you tighten up, and it holds it to the shaft. Later on, when you're like, hey, this thing won't come off, you moron, make sure you get some sandpaper out and clean that up. I spent a depressingly long amount of time trying to unscrew the little slidey bally thing. It turns out, once you get it off, or if I'd ever taken the time to look closely, that nut is attached to that. So I was hitting it with the impact. But I was holding this part. And because I was holding this part, it couldn't unscrew. I just needed to hold this part. Zip. Off she came. That's the hardest part of this whole project. Okay, that's maybe not the hardest part. The hardest part is deciding how to mount the big old saw blade. But I don't actually have a really big old saw blade. Certainly I don't have a 22-inch saw blade, and even I have limits on sketchiness. So what I've got is these. They're 12 inches. Okay, they are about the diameter of the whippersnippers when the strings are about half worn off. That is what I have. If I had a 14, it would have been better, but I don't have a 14. I have a couple of worn out 12 inches. My goal is pretty simple. This thing goes like that. This thing goes like that. Somehow. And I've come up with a couple of different ways to do it. One of which was just, I don't really give a crap about this. I could just weld the damn thing. And I'm really tempted to do that. Because, well, I can. But I'm thinking the average well-intentioned consumer might not have the ability to just weld a frickin' saw blade to the end of their weed whacker. So I was looking at other ways that I could go about it. Come up with a few ideas. I'm probably just going to weld it. First of all, you've got some slots right here. And I think if a person cut these string clamps, I mean, obviously they're already broken, so it's not like you're losing anything. Then you could put you drill these out, you put 2 1/4-inch short hardened bolts in there on each side. That'd give you 4 points. I bet it would work just fine. By the way, it needs to cut in this direction. So if I'm standing at the back of the machine, your death saw blade goes to the right. I could just weld this. What would happen if it came loose? Is it going to go around the neighborhood and kill some kids? No, probably not. It would still have to get past the little shoe thing. What it would probably do is begin to wobble around on there and shake the ever-loving hell out of everything. At least you'd know for sure you'd broken it. These things aren't very balanced anyways. They got to be able to handle a little vibration. Yeah, I know, you're not supposed to weld hardened saw blade steel. You don't know what the alloys are. And that little red bit of Chinesium. Don't be a killjoy. Just weld it. Yeah, that's what I did. I got decent penetration. I didn't weld the whole thing. One, because each one of those is carefully placed in order to accommodate the thrust vector and the relief profiles of the saw blade. So the saw blade is designed to displace energy in a way that helps the blade ripple across the entire radial plane. Nah, I just don't care. Anyways, done. Just waiting for it to cool off enough. Should it probably be welded more than that? Yeah, probably. Would welding it more than that make the blade warp? Yeah, probably. Is the heat differentials between the spots that are welded and not welded gonna make it crack? Yeah, probably. But by God, we're gonna see what she does, assuming the piece of crap starts. It's been a while since it's been run, because, well, before this it was sort of useless. Ew, Daddy likes. Yeah, there's definitely a toe snipping concern if pets or children got near ya, but no, I think it'll do okay. It ends up being slightly lower, but only by about ½ inch. So I don't see that being much of an issue. And let's be honest, when you had brand new twine on it, this dumb thing came out there some 20 odd inches. And that's just 12. So if kids or puppies ran into it when it had twine on it, it's gonna be almost as bad. I think it's okay. I can't wait. I'm gonna have to try it. God, I hope it starts.
That makes quick work of it, does it?
It works great. That's dangerous as hell, but it works great. It's the best thing we've built in a while. Let's try these bigger ones.
Like that, Stump?
No, those bigger trees there. Hey, bud. It works pretty good.
It's that good.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's only 12 inches. But if I'd have done this with the whipper snipper strings, I couldn't have done it nearly this fast. By now, I had to replace like 4 or 5 strings. I probably still could have got those. There's an aspen coming up there. I probably still could have cut them down, but it's been a little iffy, and it leaves a big old jagged stump. So now, if you've been with us since the death mower 2.0, what do we have here in the end? Well, it works great. I mean, I'm sure that a DR field and brush mower would go much faster, but it won't be this light, it won't be this quiet, thing works fantastic. This is way better than the old death mower. Way better. Oh my goodness. Now, what I have noticed, first of all, this was a trash blade when I put it on there, and it feels perfectly fine. Carbide tips. What did I do? I mean, I cut down. I was trying to find something bigger. I cut down. This is really what I had to do for it, and this is what the old death mower was built for. The difference is, when I hit the stumps with the old death mower, right, which was just a lawnmower with the front cut off and 2 pins guiding the trees into the spinning blades, I break the blades. I broke 2 sets of blades. I sheared off the blade bolt once, and I sheared off the crankshaft, which is why you don't see the death mower anymore, because I done broke it. But this won't do that. This is the best thing we built in a long time. I'm not telling you to build one. That would be irresponsible of me. Don't do this. I'm just saying I'm glad I did. Thanks for watching. An update from future me. So, I have put Death Mower 2.0 through quite a few paces, and even used it to cut off some stumps. Haven't managed to break it yet. It's not always ideal. This was the area I was particularly concerned about, because we'd cleared this so my brother and his husband could pull their camper through and camp, and it was getting badly grown up, and I was about to lose all that hard work. It did it fine. The walking trail is now scratchy, sticker bush free, and hopefully head high tick free, so that's good too. Something like this is yeah, not gonna push it. Hit a few rocks since we last spoke. Not missing any teeth. The welds, strategically placed as they are, don't see any problems. It's missing a chunk right there off the string trimmer guide. It occurred to me I could actually still stick the string trimmers on and use it to cut grass if I truly wanted to. But yeah, still definitely worth doing. Not that you should. This is irresponsible. Think of the children.